All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we are live in full effect right here, right now, with New Life, formerly known as Low Life, of one-third of the legendary Fifth Ward Boyz. He is live here on the line. How are you doing this evening?
Man, I'm wonderful, man. How about yourself?
I gotta say, first and foremost, man, I've been a fan of yourself and the Fifth Ward Boyz since I was a young boy, man. So just thank you for years of amazing music and also giving us a little bit of your time this evening just to talk on the radio station.
Yeah, man, it's all good, man. You know, it's all a part of it, and I appreciate you having me.
But I know you're a busy man, so I'm not going to keep you too long. I'm going to jump right into this interview. But I want to take you back to the very beginning, man. Like, what actually inspired and sparked the legendary career of New Life?
The group Too Much Trouble, the Baby Ghetto Boys. That was my first song I ever did on a project, and it inspired me to keep going. You know, once Still Jam Rap a Lot, he had heard me perform that song, and he asked me did I write music, and I told him, I said, yeah, I write music. He said, well, man, I like your voice, man. He said, give me a couple songs and come find me. And that was it right after that.
And I also read as well that you actually had an audition that ultimately led to a deal with Rap a Lot. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about that audition, and of course, like, how did that deal come to be for you at Rap a Lot Records, man? Because once you get signed with Rap a Lot, man, like especially back in the '90s, that's a huge game changer to actually sign with Jay Prince.
Right. So the audition was basically when he asked me to find him one day, and I actually found him, and E-Rock and 007 had actually already been there performing. They were supposed to meet the same day and perform for Lil J to see whether they was had potentials to become a group, and I went there for the solo thing, and so they was like, okay, well, you good, but we want to focus on these boys right here, right now, and then we'll put you out after we drop them, unless you want to get in the group. I was like, well, to skip all that, I say I might not ever get a chance. I was out in the streets and stuff like that, so I was like, man, you know what, I'm gonna take this opportunity. So we became a group that day.
And I gotta say, joining the group was actually a great decision, man, because at the end of the day, man, look at the classics that you guys produced, man. You're still known and always will be known as, like, one of the biggest hip-hop trios of all time.
Right. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we did. We got a nice catalog out of it. We got a nice catalog, man. We had six projects, I believe. 5 on the Rap Lot, and then we did one outside the Rap Lot, but it was still the Fifth Ward Boys.
And also, Dewey Forker, Dewey Forker, also known as OG Dewey, actually discovered the Fifth Ward Boys. I was wondering if you could tell our listeners a bit more about Dewey, and of course, what was it like working alongside him all those years?
Actually, that day we had the audition, Dewey was the one that really, for E-Rock and 007, I didn't know nobody but E-Rock at the time. So that day, Lil J was coming to actually only see E-Rock and 00, which Dewey, they had stopped by the record shop, and they had rap for Dewey, and he was like, hey, I'm gonna get in touch with Jay, cause y'all sound like something. So Dewey had the faith in him, and he really thought highly of him as far as the music, and he called Jay.
And I gotta say as well, man, I remember Dewey as well. He ended up having, I believe Underground Records was actually like an imprint, like underneath Rap a Lot Records as well. So I remember all the old Fifth Ward Boy records actually had the Underground Record stamp on the back of it.
Exactly.
But also as
that was his label on the Rap Lot, Underground Records.
So I have to ask, were you guys actually signed to Underground Records as well, or were you just signed to Rap a Lot Records and you guys were affiliated with RA?
You know what? I tell you the honest truth. I was still learning the business, and still today I'm still learning. I wasn't for sure if we were signed to underground under that. Because don't quote me wrong on it. I do know that we did use underground records, and we was signed to Rap a Lot, as well as the labels that put us out, like Priority and U Tribe, and stuff like that.
And also as well, November 28th of 1995, you guys actually released my personal favorite record, which is actually Rated G. And I was wondering, can you tell our listeners a bit more about that phenomenal record? Because I remember as well that album actually hit number 35 on the top R&B and hip hop albums Billboard. Man, that album was huge.
Yeah, Rated G, man. We that was okay. When we did Ghetto Dope, I was in prison. I was in prison for Ghetto Dope. I was locked up, and then getting out for Gangsta Funk, I had just tapped into it. So that was an EP. So that was our first actual project with all of us together being home.
Okay, I actually did not know that.
So Ray G was one of the ones that we finally got a chance to put all of us in it.
And you guys as well, man, had some phenomenal just features in that. I remember as well. I believe Daddy Low was on there. I believe Flesh and Bone and Wild Child. Like, you guys had some phenomenal features on one record.
Yeah, we had the luxury to have Flesh Bone was coming through the city one day, and we at that time we actually had a song that they put together, Mike Dean put together, that he liked and wanted to be on. And yeah, of course we had Nickelboy. No, we had Wild Child. You're right. We had Wild Child on there, which he passed away like a little bit right after that. But yeah, we had a chance to get Flesh Bone on the song, man.
And I gotta say, was that the only time you had the opportunity to work with Flesh and Bone?
That was the only time we got a chance to work with him, because I believe he a little bit after that he wound up getting incarcerated.
And also, November 3rd of 1998, you were actually featured on Yuck Mouse, Thugged Out the Albination, man, on the song Rap a Lot Mafia. I was wondering, what was it like being in the studio with Yuck Mouth, and of course, how did that opportunity arise for you guys?
Man, every time we was in the studio around Yuck Mouth, man, it was nothing but man, fun, excitement, and man, trying to come up with something that was gonna last us for a lifetime. So it's top of the level. I say fun, man. We had fun every time we was in the studio, because he got his spirits is up there, and he's that rider person, man, and we just we put our all into it.
And I gotta say as well, Yuckmouth is a phenomenal individual, man. I gotta say it must have been surreal just being in the studio working with him, man. I gotta say he most definitely probably hotboxed the booth, most definitely.
Oh, every single time. Every single time. We never did a song without that. So of course with anybody that we ever featured with. And of course, him and David was one of the ones that we hotboxed every single time. Yeah.
And also, another big weed smoker that you actually had the opportunity of working with was actually jumping ahead to 2004 in the millennium. The Fifth Ward Boys were actually featured on Daz Dillinger's "I Got Love in These Streets" record on the song "I'ma Get Mine." I was wondering, how did you guys get connected with Daz? And of course, what was like just working on one half of the Dog Pound on that project?
Daz, and I think Sebo and a couple other people was dancing through the city, and we wind up Daz wind up sliding through the studio with us, man, and we come up with I think maybe two songs. I don't know if we used both. I can't remember if we used both of them or not, but I know we did use one of them for sure.
And I gotta ask as well, is that second song that you didn't use, is this still circulating around the internet today? Because I do know some songs, they happen to get leaked on YouTube, or is that one just unfortunately lost in the archives?
Which one?
The one that you guys ended up not using that Daz Dillinger recorded with you guys.
I don't know, because right after that, for me, I wound up getting in a lot of trouble.
Oh, damn.
Me and 007 started wound up getting in trouble. So excuse me. So we wind up missing a lot. So I'm not for sure if it leaked, and I'm still learning the internet a little bit right now. So some people know how to go on there and put a lot of stuff up. I hadn't had the time really to sit down and learn how this whole internet thing works. But of course, it could be there. It could be out right now.
I'm gonna be honest with you, New Life. Trust me. Like, I work on the internet. That's what I do for a living. And there's even some things I'm still learning about the internet where I'm like, shit, man, you can actually do this. Some days I feel limited. But also as well, man, last month, jumping ahead in the timeline to this year, last month you actually released a music video, Dope Boy, and I was wondering, what's the story and inspiration behind that phenomenal song? And of course, where can our listeners buy or stream themselves a copy of that today?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, Dope Boy was inspired by me because the whole time we was rapping, I was in the streets hustling. And Double O told me one time, he said, man, you're going to miss the group out, man. You know, because I was in and out of, I was missing studio sessions, and we had shows and stuff, and I was in the streets more than I was tuned into the music, because I felt like it wasn't really getting me what I was looking for at the time. And it was like, man, we're too good for you to be out there being in the streets and stuff. Well, that didn't make me stop. So, but everybody know me for being in the streets and hustling. So that song, it was like, man, you gotta come on one of them Dope Boy songs, man. Like what you did, man, so people could relate to, what your past and stuff like that. So Dope Boy was, I went through the neighborhood and got with a few people, a few spots I used to be around or whatever, and it was history with Dope Boy.
And also as well, you actually own your own record label titled Corp Rich Entertainment. I was wondering, what made you decide to start up your own label, and of course, who is currently signed to you today?
Right now, I'm growing with it. I just started it for now with me myself on my own record label, and as an artist and the owner of it, I still talk to Dewey, and I'm waiting to talk to Lil J to give me some insight on the whole business aspect of a record label. But I shot some of the second Dope Boy at OG Dewey's record shop, and he all open for me whenever I want to come in and ask him anything about the music business. I guess for him it's a laid back thing right now. He's not really too much in tune with the music, but he got a lot of access and a lot of knowledge of it, so I have that in my favor.
And also one extraordinary thing I also saw as well, aside from music, you're actually venturing into the acting side of things as well, where you're also going to be starring in Gambler, a mini movie series that is coming this year in 2021. I was wondering, man, what actually inspired you to get into the movie industry, and of course, what can our listeners expect from this movie when it does drop to the general public?
Gambler is my own personal movie. It's my movie. What happened was I wound up auditioning for a movie and with Mac Film, and I wound up getting the main role in the film, which is called Hidden Licks. And like I said, I'm the main character, and people was used to saying like, man, you been doing it. So I was acting in middle school and high school, and so me being in that movie itself inspired me. Like, what, I'm gonna write my own movie, because I know about my life and I know about the people around me. Like, I can actually come up with some ideas, because a lot of people that write, they're hippie write and stuff like that. So my ideas of Gambler was everybody in life, including the baby, at some point took a gamble, took a chance. So that's what made me come up with the idea of gambler. Because everybody in life has took a gamble at some point.
And I gotta say as well, I looked at the little, like, the little clip you actually have, and I gotta say it looks like a phenomenal movie, man. I'm really looking forward to actually watching that personally myself.
I appreciate it. Well, since the COVID thing had kicked in last year, we was going full speed ahead. But due to the fact that we got teenagers and stuff that's inside, that's on the project, going to be on the project, we had to kind of reconstruct everything. So, but it's still gonna come out though. It's still gonna come out.
Oh, but honestly, sometimes stuff like that is worth the wait. You know what I mean? I'd much rather wait than not be able to watch it at all.
Right, right. And I really appreciate that, man. It means a lot hearing that from you. As well as knowing our history and doing your homework as far as what's going on, because a lot of people don't get a chance to really express what they got going on or what they, and then somebody call them up and give them the opportunity to be able to say, yeah, of course, I've been watching you. This year, I want to see more of that. I want to hear you do this here, and I can appreciate that or whatever. It keeps me motivated.
And also as well, man, I also noticed, well, you have another latest project actually titled Nonfiction that's actually out right now. And I was wondering, where can our listeners actually buy or stream that phenomenal project? And of course, I gotta ask, what's the inspiration behind that? Because I gotta say, this brings a whole new meaning to New Life's music.
Yeah, so nonfiction is all my songs has always been inspiration for me because I live what I rap. So I came up with the idea of boats. I say ghosts the greatest of all time. So I came up with boats based on a true story. And nonfiction was I used to think that nonfiction was a false story. And when I was in school, and I realized that nonfiction is actually a true story. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna name my project nonfiction because I want all my projects to fit in the same realm of based on a true story. So nonfiction was the standout name for that project, which following that is going to be residential area.
But I gotta ask as well, New Life, what is next for you? Because I do know that you're a very busy man, and I know I probably only touched base on half of your new project. So if there's anything I missed, make sure, if you can, let our Canadian listeners know what else is going on for the legendary New Life.
Okay, so of course the movie thing is I'm about to get ready to start another movie. Hidden Licks is about to get ready to come out in a second. Gambler was going to start on a mini movie series, and then I'm going to actually go into an actual movie of Gambler. And then right now, I put the nonfiction project out, I think in November maybe, and consists of like 13 songs. And matter of fact, on that project, I got Bun B, Nick Kiki, of course, I got E-Rock on there, Ridge, the Fifth Wall Boys, and I got Ice Water Slaughter from Trinity on Cartel. I don't want to miss no names. I got quite a few people on that project, on the Nonfiction project. But on this project, residential area, I wanted to tap into the youth because they right now they over the airways. They loving the new music is you. So I said I'm gonna do my next project with all other youngsters, whether they are popular or not. I even included my son on this project, and he's 20. So I got a lot of youth on this project, and I don't know how many songs I'm gonna use yet, but I'm at about 10 right now.
I gotta say, it most definitely right there sounds like a phenomenal project, man. And it sounds like as well that you're actually passing the torch down to your son.
Exactly. So I didn't know he really rapped. And one day we sitting here right where I'm at right now in the studio, and he was like, "Dad, man, I need to get a beat." And I was like, "For what?" He was like, "Man, I want to rap." And I was like, "Well, let me hear you rap." And when he rapped, he actually sound real good. And I was like, "Where did you get that from?" And so I'm asking him that, but I'm asking myself that, and I'm like, "Well, he's been watching me the whole time." And he actually got his own style. He got his own little lane or whatever. But we have, like I said, we have a song on this project
And also as well, New Life, this is the time quickly right before I wrap things up that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves just a chance to give shoutouts to whomever they want to give shoutouts to. But most of all, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything New Life of the Fifth Ward Boys if they're not already doing so.
Right. So I always get it confused. I'm not for sure of it, but exactly, but I think it's Fifth Ward Boys with the 5th Fifth Ward Boy. Take the Z off. It's Fifth Ward Boy _ new NUE _ life 7. Again, that's Fifth Ward Boy _ new NUE _ LIFE 7. And that's my Instagram. My Facebook is under Richard Nash, my actual government name. But I normally do that's like family thing for on that side. But on the business side, of the entertainment side, I use my Instagram more. And I also got on Pandora. I have my own radio station on Pandora, which is NUELIFE. And on my YouTube is it's under corporate, CORPRICH Entertainment, and New Life again, NUELIFE.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, New Life, thank you so much for just taking the time out of your busy evening and coming on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM. Like I said at the beginning of the interview, I've been a fan of you guys since I was a youngster, man. So just thank you for inspiring not only myself, but millions upon millions of hip-hop heads all around the world, man. It was an honor and most definitely a privilege. And hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon.
I really appreciate that. Is this something that I could pull up and listen to? Are you recording this?
Actually, we're actually right now as we speak, we're live worldwide, and we're also recorded as well. So I like to have the interviews up. I try to have them up about an hour or so after we actually jump off the air. So I should have it back to you within an hour. I'll actually DM you the link personally.
Okay, man. I really appreciate that, man. I appreciate you having me, and you got my number locked in. Anytime you need to ask a question or you need to do another interview, you want to get in touch with E-Rock or 007, you can also give me a call and we'll link that in.
Sounds great. I appreciate that fully, New Life. Thank you so much. And this is my number as well. You need anything radio-wise, promotional-wise, hit me up. I got you.
Okay, man. I really appreciate you, man. And keep doing what you're doing.
Hey, I most definitely will. I'm not going to stop until the wheels fall off. And when they do fall off, I'm going to get my ass out of the vehicle and put them back on and keep going.
Right on, man. That sounds good to me, man. Keep it up, man.
Hey, most definitely. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much and have yourself a wonderful night.
Okay, you too, bro.